they stare. There's facts. Stunt so hard it isn't fair. There's facts. Got so much money I can spare. There's facts.
Spitballin' Podcast, we are back. And guess what?
What's that?
Basketball is also back.
Celebrate.
Oh my Jesus, it has been a long wait.
It almost doesn't feel real.
Football has been trash, so we needed this.
It's been unpredictable.
Unpredictable as in
unpredictable.
trash.
I think you're a little biased. I think you really like basketball.
I do like basketball.
That's
so.
what's telling you. Like, football's been trash.
But basketball's back, so let's just be excited.
It doesn't feel real. Like, I was like, let me explain. Like, the whole week, like, dating back to exactly a week ago, I'm just like, next Tuesday. Oh my God! It's like that means basketball's gonna be on basically like every day from here for the next months. And then now that I wake up this morning, it's almost like it's not happening. It's almost like I can't register. And then when we were talking about like if LeBron guards Kyrie on the first play out, I got so excited.
First and foremost, LeBron may not even play tonight. We've already discussed this. If LeBron doesn't play, he's clearly a bitch. Like,
pussy.
That's just the way this works. You cannot have your main guy leave.
He's not stupid.
You can't have a main guy leave to another team, and you play that team the first night of the season with all your new guys and your best friend that's not playing with you and not play. I might slap him myself.
And it's been like a week since he like tweaked his ankle in preseason.
Yeah.
So it's like
hasn't he played since? He hasn't played since
the Chicago game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
No,
well, I don't care. He still needs to play. You tweak your ankles. Stop, man up. I don't care if you sit out the next 2 games. You got to play tonight.
That's true.
Like, that's just facts.
Yeah.
And you need to guard Kyrie on the first play.
I'm telling you, if that happens. By the way, let's plug it in. We're doing a live podcast tonight.
Live podcast.
Both games.
Over both games tonight.
It'll be us watching it. You can tune in for updates.
And like I said, it's October 17th. So that means we will be live podcasting during the Cavs and Celtics game. And then followed by the Warriors and Rockets game.
No bias.
No bias.
No bias.
None of those teams are our favorites. Obviously. Despite what shirt he's wearing right now. I'm wearing an America shirt because, America.
I'm biased for America.
So anything happening inside of that, I'm all for. So let me ask you this.
What's up, fam?
What's kind of your predictions for the 2 games tonight?
Yeah, no. Of course it depends on if LeBron's playing. Assuming he is. Assuming LeBron's playing.
Let's just say he's going to play because he better.
Watching Boston play in the preseason, I've watched maybe 2 or 3 Boston games. I've watched 2 Cleveland games. Man, I like Boston tonight because I like what would they call it? Like in football, they call it the Gruden grinder, where it's like the player you don't think will be the X factor, but is. Al Horford on Kevin Love is
barbecue chicken.
Not barbecue chicken. It's just Al Horford can do more. Yeah, and that it's gonna be fun. I really like Jaylen Brown this year. I like Jaylen Brown's matchup on Dwayne Wade. I think he could possibly get Dwayne Wade in foul trouble, just being he's aggressive. When Jaylen Brown was coming out of the draft, I had him as the 3rd best player in the draft. People thought that was ridiculously high, but I said there is something. He's not built big. He's not thick. He's a skinny dude, but he plays so hard. He plays. I'm trying to think of a player that
want that more than anything.
Yeah, like I'm trying to think of a player that that's a comparison in the NBA that like doesn't look like he give you that work. Like, this is gonna sound weird. James Harden kind of comes to mind because James Harden, doesn't look big, but he's so strong. Like he like the way he can get fouled and still go up with a shot and everything. He as far as strength goes and not looking like he's strong, he reminds me of James Harden, but he doesn't play like him at all. But I like Jaylen Brown's matchup on Dwayne Wade. I like Al Horford's matchup on Kevin Love. I think Boston can take it. It will be a close game no matter what.
So let's do this. I want to do kind of an over and under thing.
Okay.
So I'm gonna start off with this. Let me get your prediction on this. Over or under? Does Kyrie have 10 assists, more or less?
Less.
Why is this?
Kyrie's not a point guard that puts up 10 assists.
But keep in mind, during the preseason, he had at least 1 game with 10 assists.
Probably. Maybe 1.
I think he's trying to shape himself into that point guard.
He could be changing his game. I think I did see that.
Which I think that's what he needs to do. And I think he understands that.
I watched him play against Charlotte. And
so I'm going to give him over. On my side, at least.
That's a big thing.
And by over, I mean like 10, 11.
At least 10 is what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying at least 10. Probably 10, 11. Like it won't be anything crazy. But I could see him with 10 assists tonight.
I say 6 or 7. I don't. He's gonna want to score. He's not gonna want to pass.
Oh, he's definitely gonna score because, I mean.
So you're basically saying he'll score a lot and get. So you're saying Kyrie has a monster game. You're telling me Kyrie has a monster game tonight.
Kyrie is a monster,
but he will have a monster game.
I think so.
Okay.
Because I think he's proven himself to.
I mean, D Rose is guarding him, so.
Yeah.
It's not like that's a big
I
defensive
think he's
thing.
proven himself to show up big in big moments.
And this is a big moment.
And to him, this is
great point.
This is almost the biggest moment. I mean, this is. I'm not gonna say it's bigger than a championship game, but it has.
God damn it! It feels like
it has that feel of it, just because there's you've been talked down upon this entire season. He's done a great job of handling that, to be honest with you. Just kind of ignore what we need to ignore, and when it was time,
he's been very professional throughout this whole
process. When it was time to speak on something, he spoke on it elegantly.
He's a very educated guy.
He is
from Duke.
He thinks the Earth is flat.
There's that. He's well spoken, is what I meant.
Yeah, he's well spoken. Educated? I don't know about all of that.
Watch out.
What over unders do you have?
Okay. So for Jay Crowder, who's an interesting factor, a guy who isn't really talked about. Do you think over under 12 points?
I'm gonna go with over.
Okay.
And by over, I'll probably hitting like once again 13, 14, 15. He'll kind of range around there. I think he's gonna kind of have almost a coming out party a little bit, just because obviously, if you're a true NBA fan, you understand who Jay Crowder is. You understand he's a great role player. Your everyday NBA players don't really know who he is. This is gonna be kind of his first little spotlight moment playing next to LeBron, because he's built like LeBron. Not the same exact way, but very similar.
A brick.
Just
house.
Manly.
That's a
man.
He's
like a younger built version.
I'm not racist. But if I'm walking down the street,
that's not how you want to start any comment.
If I'm walking down the street and I see Jay Crowder, I might cross the street. I might cross the street. He's a scary dude.
Disclaimer: anything he says has nothing to do with me.
Don't involve me. Well, I mean, since we talked about Kyrie, LeBron James, over under 26. You gotta think. It's a big game for LeBron, just as much as it is for Kyrie.
But he's also proven that he doesn't feel the need to score in big games at times.
And he has the ankle problem.
He does. And I think if you add in the factor of he has Dwayne Wade in the corner now, he has Derrick Rose that can handle the ball and score. He has Jay Crowder who can put some points up here and there. I'm going to say he's going to come very close to it, but I'm going to say under.
So you say like maybe 24, 25?
Yes. I think he'll be very close to it, but I'm going to go with under. And I'm kind of scared to say that, but I think that's where we'll be at.
I'll go over. Over 26. I'll say 28.
28, so 28. Be pretty close.
No, 28.
26 is almost like what I think he's going to have.
28, 7, and 9 will be a stat line. 28, 7, 9.
Get close to a triple-double.
Yeah, he'll get close to a triple-double.
He's always close to a triple-double.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's a safe bet.
Yeah.
You know, last year were his career highs in rebounds and assists. So he's as time goes on, he's actually becoming more active as far as rebounds and passing goes.
So let me ask you this. Going into the second game, what's kind of your over and under predictions? Let's say James Harden.
Okay.
Assist wise, what do you expect now that Chris Paul is going to be the main ball handler?
I think we will see multiple games where Chris Paul and James Harden both have 10 plus.
That's a lot.
It is. It's happened. I think in the preseason, one of them was like 7, the other one was like 10, and they didn't play the whole game. So it would be. I don't think it's. I don't know the stat. I mean, I don't know the record, but I'm pretty sure no team has ever had 2 players that had 10 or more assists. I don't think. That's like.
So, do you think he gets 10 assists tonight?
James Harden?
Yes. Over under.
Over 10.
Over 10?
10 or more. Yeah.
I'm gonna go under.
Under? Okay. Chris Paul.
I think Chris Paul gets over 10.
Chris Paul gets more assists than James Harden. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that, and I think Chris Paul will get over 10, and James Harden will get under 10.
Okay.
I still think he'll be around that 7 range.
I'll flip it on you. I'll flip it for you. I'll go James Harden 10. Chris Paul gets close, but goes under 10.
What's your outcome, do you think, for that game?
Well, you know, it's hard.
Without being biased.
Yeah, for those who don't know, we are born and raised Houston, Texas.
First and foremost, I'm an American child. It's the only thing we're going over.
I don't see state. I don't see city. You know?
I think Golden State wins game 2, and I'm going to go with Cavs game 1. I think we're going to get
Cavs and Warriors.
I think we're going to get the basic, kind of expected, but I think those 2 games will both be really good.
Point margin for the second game. How do you think the margin of victory for Golden State?
And to be, I think this is gonna be a hit or miss game. I think either the Rockets will win, or Golden State will do some damage.
So it's not a close game if the Warriors win.
I think not.
Okay.
Because I think once they get in rhythm, they're a very terrifying team to battle against.
So are the Rockets though. When the Rockets are in rhythm too.
They are, but there's some rhythm that still needs to be built within that system with all the new players that are
Right.
Because you got 4 or 5 new players in the in their rotation that have to become accustomed, and 4 or 5 preseason games is not going to cut it.
It'll be interesting to see the rotation.
And if you're starting off against a team like that's gelled already well together, only person that really added was Nick Young, which he's coming in there just to shoot, so he doesn't really have to gel with anything. I think there will be some struggles, and I think the Warriors will put a little whooping on them. If we're being honest.
Okay, so you're saying okay, so we talked about that. The first game, Cleveland margin of victory.
Cleveland, I'll give it a 5 point. 5 to 7.
5 to 7.
I think that'll be a close game.
Wins.
I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Celtics kind of the same thing. Although the Cavs do have new players, LeBron Wade, that's not even a new player situation. Like they know what they're doing together. They know how to play together. It's obvious. And you got people like Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose will kind of be. I think if they're smart, they'll let Derrick Rose handle the ball, almost as much as LeBron, starting off at least, just because he's very good handling the ball, and I think that's kind of forgotten about. But like I said, I think they have some pieces to get together as well. But I still go Cavs by 5 to 7. Let's say 6, just to be fair.
To put it on record, so you got Cavs by 6, Warriors by blowout.
I wouldn't say blowout, but 9+.
9+.
Yeah.
Okay. I have Boston beating Cleveland, close game. You could definitely see a 2-point game, something like that. Mm-hmm. I have Golden State beating Houston, but also another close game. Maybe a 5-4-point game like that. Both these games will be incredibly exciting. Both these games will make you stand up at times. I think the NBA delivers tonight. I definitely think the NBA delivers tonight.
And you gotta, I love the fact that there's this much excitement going into the season, with how the league has been the past couple of years, which it still kind of is really, where the Cavs and the Warriors are clearly more dominant. It's still that way, but because of the off-season changes, it allows the season to be a little bit more interesting, and that's what I like.
Yeah, do you remember the opening game for the NFL?
No, I don't. I don't know who played.
Pretty sure it was the Chiefs and Patriots, but my point is,
and that was a good game actually.
It was fun, but because the Chiefs won.
Yeah,
but it was the point is it wasn't promoted well. I'm sure it was, but it didn't make it out its own circles.
I think
this is revolutionary.
I think the NFL has that's been their downsides. They have been able to promote their games that heavily, and that's why you've been seeing the NFL slip. And basketball has thrived
because basketball is so star heavy. And
exactly, and they let their players run the league, and that's proven to be successful.
I don't know if it's Adam Silver. I don't know who makes these games and puts them on what days, but as a Rockets fan, if we're not being biased for about 30 seconds. Whoever had us over against Golden State, fuck you. But
I want to see it though, to be honest.
Okay, so I turn it on, I turn it off, bias is off. You couldn't. So there's the top 5 teams in the NBA. This is 4 of them playing tonight.
Exactly. That's what makes this exciting. So
congratulations to them.
Did a great job putting this together. I'm sure it will pay well for them today.
I'm getting excited. I have a half chub right now.
That's something I can.
I'm semi-chubbing over here.
Keep your chub to yourself, please, sir. But on that, over or under, let's talk about Eminem's new album. It's announced that it's going to drop November 17th. Are you excited about this?
We've had countless long conversations about Eminem. me being a Caucasian male who
what
has right. It's hard to even think about it like that. Yeah, me being a Caucasian male who is in the music world.
Yes.
He's
an idol.
He's an idol to me. He's someone I looked up to very young. The Eminem Show, that album was the earliest album I can remember being like, well, this is fantastic. I am not excited about Eminem's new album.
Really? That's kind of surprising on my part.
The more I listen to Eminem, I feel like I know Eminem because you've listened. I feel that's with anybody you've listened to 6, 7 albums from. You feel like you know the person, right? Mm-hmm. And I listened to his Cypher verse where he attacked Donald Trump. That the moment was great. The content was great. It was what we needed.
The actual talent of rapping was unsatisfactory.
It was what we
he raps better than that.
Yeah.
I get it.
It's what we needed at the time because all these white celebrities, they're standing up and they're like, Trump is bad, and then they sit back down and that's it, right? Like the black celebrities, the black athletes, they're actually the ones protesting. They're actually the ones doing something. So the fact that Eminem would go on the BET Awards, I mean, it's not huge anymore, but like there's millions of people watching that. He goes on there and he says he's not blatant, he's not being subliminal. I mean, I said he's not blatant.
He is blatant.
Yeah, my bad. He's blatant. He's not subliminal. He's not talking about someone. He's saying fuck Trump, put a fist up in the air for Kaepernick. There's no white celebrity doing that. It's what was needed, and I appreciate that. I was critiquing it a little bit, me being a very bar heavy, me being a very lyricist guy. I was critiquing it. I didn't like his pauses in between.
But let me ask you this. Do you think the pauses and the dumbed downness of it is kind of necessary for everybody to clearly get the message?
Yes. Which is what I'm sure he did.
Yeah.
The pauses annoyed me, though. He was just like...
No, yeah, I got you. But
bar.
But I think that was kind of the point, because I think somebody who raps really well in today's hip-hop that are bar heavy, you're not going to get listened to. It's not going to be received well. You have people like Lil Pump out here who's just that's it. So
hey, you should record that. You should record what you just did.
Bars. Number one's coming. But so for him being a bar heavy guy where he's trying to get a message across where it reaches everybody, I think it was almost necessary for him to be like, all right, let me slow this down a little bit.
I can see that.
Make this simple. Because like I said, the rapping skill, his skill is so much more than what that was.
It was still good.
Compared to what's out now, yes. But if you're used to Eminem, if you've listened to Eminem for some time, you know he's a much better rapper than that. But like you said, it was a necessary moment. I'm glad it was put out there the way it was. I know that some people kind of say, hey, this is just a promotional thing.
Which it is, but it can be promotional but still positive. It can be.
And I agree with that. I agree.
Why wouldn't you? If you could do this, make a statement, and help promote your album, why wouldn't you?
It's like, two birds, one stone.
Yeah. Exactly.
I get it. But with that being said, I am not excited to hear his album, unfortunately.
And I've also heard the verse that he did on Pink's new song that dropped Friday.
That song was trash.
It was weird. It was just weird.
I think he's always put out weird verses. I mean, I don't know. I think... I hate to say this, but a sober Eminem is not that fantastic.
It's weird. His voice is weird.
Yeah.
I used to didn't mind it, but now it's like I'll listen to Eminem when I want to hear clever rhyme schemes and clever bars. But as far as something I'm going to play in my car, something I'm going to listen to over and over again, it's not something that I will be listening to. But he could potentially put out something that's... I'm saying, if Eminem dumbed down his songs a bit, it could actually be, have replay value. It's just he's so complicated and so intricate with this stuff that it's just like, it's misses a lot of the time.
But at the same time, Kendrick Lamar is the same way.
Kendrick Lamar is not as complicated as Eminem.
No,
And Kendrick Lamar has a urban sound, while Eminem's sound is weird.
I think that's the difference personally. I think Kendrick has a lot of very complicated way of putting out his music and some stuff that is kind of weird. But I think he has that urban sound.
He has that like new age, but not too new age. And Kendrick's the. If you're gonna like, you know how we say like LeBron's the perfect basketball player if you created one from scratch. Kendrick's like that with music. He's like he can like you need him to dumb it down. He can dumb it down and make songs. You know, like songs like well, his songs aren't really dumbed down, but like he can make a radio hit. Then he can come back and he can lift the black man's spirit and just. He's the perfect rapper if you were to make one.
I heard him put a song out with one of these like mumble type rappers, Kid something, whatever. Song's called Freezer. I think he bodied it personally.
Oh, I think I've heard that at one point.
I'd like him to see him do more stuff like that because he's capable. Yes, I love conscious Kendrick. I love the fact that he spreads a message, but
too much conscious could be just too much.
It's just like Jay-Z. Jay-Z has always put out conscious lyrical music, but he's also put out songs like Dirt Off Your Shoulder, Big Pimpin'. Like he's kind of entertained both areas very well. And I think Kendrick's kind of like 90% on the conscious side, and every once in a while he'll give you a song that's like good for a club scene.
Like Be Humble was like that one song that's like it wasn't completely complicated. It was just
it was a dumbed down song kind of.
Yeah, and I'm saying like if Eminem made more dumbed down songs that weren't like joke songs, because when he dumbs it down, he jokes.
Exactly, and that's
if he made just like songs about just you got you got a lot of money, Eminem. Like just make songs.
I don't know if he needs to do that.
He needs to do something like that.
Even Kendrick doesn't do that. He's not rapping about his money, and Kendrick's well off.
He has references. He makes references.
Yeah, sure, but like I don't want to hear Eminem come in and say I got a big house. I've been doing this for years. Like no.
So stop. Can Eminem really just not win right now?
To be honest with you, I think we've gotten to a point where the music has moved past Eminem.
He can't.
I think that's happened.
He just can't. Because if he tried to dumb it down, people would be like, "Bro, you're Eminem." But when Eminem tries to be Eminem, it's like too complicated.
I think music has just moved past him, and I hate to say that because I'm an Eminem fan. Like he'll always be a great rapper, and if you're looking for bars, he's always somebody you can go to. But if we're talking about a full album of great musical content, music has just moved past him. Unfortunate, but
I can agree with that.
His time is gone, and he hasn't adjusted very well. Like Jay-Z came out before Eminem, he's adjusted well through time. Eminem has kind of slacked in that area of adjusting, because even you think about it. His last album was not that well received. The album before that was not that well received. I think the last time he put out an album that was truly well received was before 2010.
Well, it's well received. Just, I mean, the numbers.
I mean, numbers will be there because he's a star. Just like Lil Wayne. Like Lil Wayne drops an album today, numbers will be there. Doesn't mean the content will be there.
Yeah, people.
That's two different stories.
People just gave up on him.
So I think when you have a star of somebody of Eminem's caliber, the numbers will always be there, but that does not mean the music's good. Because if I hear Eminem drop, I want to go hear it, even though I don't have that much high expectation, just because that's Eminem. That's somebody I grew up off of. However, I don't foresee the content fitting today's music, or
right
adding to today's music and making it. It's unfortunate, but it's a reality. I mean, hip hop is a very fast-paced, moving thing. It's very hard to keep up, and I just think he has not been able to do that very well. I mean, I'm glad to see him sober though. Positive side.
Yeah, he's not killing himself.
Yeah, so all for him. He's a music legend. He always will be. And nothing will ever take away from that. But it is what it is. Also, NFL injuries. Wow.
Man.
Wow.
Talk about how like one team was a Super Bowl contender, and now
they have a guy who threw 3 interceptions in one game.
Man, Aaron Rodgers breaks his collarbone.
They're saying they're not sure he's gonna be out for the season. I almost guarantee he's gonna be out for the season.
Yeah.
Just because at the end of the day, this quarterback's not gonna be able to get them to enough wins for it to be worth Aaron Rodgers coming back at the end of the season.
I'm excited to watch him play though. Brett Hundley, he's an exciting quarterback.
He was terrible last game.
But he's well, when you come in at halftime, you're playing with Aaron Rodgers' game plan, and that's like when Deshaun Watson for Houston came in that first game, he was on Tom Savage's game plan. That's why he played bad. But
he still didn't play that bad.
He threw 2 interceptions, and he had a bad game.
I mean, it wasn't great, but it was not. I think this was kind of horrific. I get you. It will get better, but will it be better enough to win games? Because that organization is carried by Aaron Rodgers. Let's be honest here. Without Aaron Rodgers, that team is not that good. So now you're talking about one of the best quarterbacks ever off, and you're subbing him in for a backup caliber quarterback. No, it's just not going to go well. So I think Aaron Rodgers is out for the season. The Packers' season's kind of over.
It's funny because people were like, they should sign Tony Romo. I'm like, do you remember what happened to Tony Romo? He broke his collarbone. The Packers don't have a great offensive line. This is not going to be good. And
I think that's what needs to be fixed this offseason because I think the season's over.
Colin Kaepernick.
And I don't think that he would have too much success there.
It would be interesting because Aaron Rodgers was an advocate of Kaepernick. Aaron Rodgers says Kaepernick needs to be in the NFL. That's his basically his team. What if Aaron Rodgers, all wrapped up, with his shoulder cast, goes up to Mike McCarthy and goes, "Why don't you go get Kaepernick?" Thing is, you want to talk about Kaepernick? I feel sorry for him. I do. I feel sorry for Kaepernick because he's done nothing but want to make change. And then this is so funny. It's not funny, sorry, but it's ironic. The day that Aaron Rodgers breaks his collarbone, Colin Kaepernick files a lawsuit against the NFL for collusion and probably won't get signed now because you're in a lawsuit with them. So that is terrible luck. If you would have just kept it for one day, you might be a Green Bay Packer today. There's a good chance that you might be a Green Bay Packer today.
But let me ask you this. Colin has not played football in quite some time. How effective would he be right now?
It would be...
We don't know what his workout schedule was.
The word on the street is that he has been practicing, or he's been working out 5 times a week. Like, he's been doing same routine.
I got you.
He's been good. He didn't have a terrible year last year.
No, he didn't. I think he played for a backup quarterback. He played very well.
Yeah, and I'd take him over Brett Hundley.
Yeah.
So,
but like you said, he sued the NFL.
That's not a good idea.
Yeah, NFL's like, definitely no now.
Yeah. I'm just saying, there's a chance he could be a Packer by today, but fortunately with that injury, that won't happen. Houston loses J.J. Watt. The Giants lose Odell Beckham.
All out for the season.
All done. Yeah, done.
And I think that's what hurts.
Giants lost like 4 receivers that game.
Yeah, Brandon Marshall's done.
Brandon
for the
Marshall,
season as well.
Yeah. Sterling Shepard, he's not done for the season, but he missed last game, which the Giants beat the Broncos, where they were heavy underdogs, which was crazy. That was insane. But yeah, man, the NFL needs more guaranteed money. You need more guaranteed money.
The NFL has many problems.
It's like I get it. Like the reason why they don't get guaranteed money is because of the injuries, but at the same time, they're people. You need to be a business partner with them, and you need to be like. That's why these players sit out. That's why they do holdouts, because if I get hurt, all of a sudden teams are gonna write me off.
I have no income.
That's it.
So let me ask you this: season-ending injury for Beckham. This is his contract year.
That's terrible.
What type of contract do you think he does he come out with? Because he's proven himself to be.
I still think he lands a big one.
I was about to say he's proven himself to be the most dangerous.
First major injury.
But this is a huge injury, a huge one that could alter the rest of his career. This is an ankle as a wide receiver. That is huge.
The Giants, it won't be because they talked about him.
I think he definitely lost some money.
There's a chance, yeah. They talked about him potentially being the highest paid player ever in the NFL. There's Von Miller for the Broncos said he deserves it. There are other owners around the league who say that he deserves it. Of course, there's the old white guys who are like, he dances when he scores and I don't like it. There's some people that are like that.
I don't like it.
It makes me angry. There's people like that. Here's a snap. But I feel for him, man. Not just because he's my fantasy wide receiver, but just because it's terrible, man. He's incredible talent. He's fast.
And he's your fantasy wide receiver.
And he's my fantasy wide receiver.
My God, so many fantasy teams have gone to dirt over the past couple weeks. Oh my God.
Jameis Winston was my starting quarterback. He got taken out last game with a shoulder injury.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I lost. I was undefeated, 5-0. Not anymore.
You're about to be 0-5 now.
5-1. Damn.
It hurts, man.
Sucks.
But with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, this is Spitballing Podcast.
You
episode Quattro.
Been good. Last week we were busy.
Trash. Correction, he was busy.
I had 2 doctor's appointments, and
who cares about health? This is podcast time.
It's podcast life.
It's podcast life. Ball is life. I don't know if this goes with that, but I'm gonna say it though.
Ball is life. Stay tuned for tonight, as we will have a live podcast. We're gonna be chilling. We're gonna be watching the game.
Yeah,
you could come in, tune in. We're not gonna be streaming the game because that's copyright. We would get taken off of YouTube. We're not trying to do that. So we're gonna be watching. You can come in, talk to us, ask us some questions. We'll give you updates on the game. Show us how it's looking from our perspective.
Watch the date and put the game on mute and listen.
Yeah,
to us.
We'll be like the commentators.
We're entertaining, kind of.
Like we'd be better than Barkley and Shaq.
I'm talking shit.
I hate Charles Barkley. I'm pretty sure it's the second time I've said I hate Charles Barkley on this podcast.
I agree with you. I mean,
all right, guys. Well, Charles. We'll see you tonight. It'll be a fun time. Everybody get excited. Everybody get excited.
Let's go!